This is my WWE Bragging Rights 2009 pay-per-view predictions. Now, I've already kind of stated my opinion on this pay-per-view as far as what I think of them doing all these Raw versus SmackDown interpromotional matches on this pay-per-view, and especially this 7-on-7 match, Raw versus SmackDown. This is completely pointless to do this on this pay-per-view, considering that next month, I don't know if you're necessarily going to have a Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series elimination match, but you're going to have a match similar like this year, but it's going to be 5-on-5 instead of 7-on-7. And at Survivor Series, it's going to be elimination. On this pay-per-view, it's actually not for eliminations, just one pinfall within the match. But, you know, this Raw vs. SmackDown stuff, especially the Divas match, Raw vs. SmackDown, that's something that definitely should have been saved for the Survivor Series pay-per-view and not for this pay-per-view, because for the most part, this pay-per-view is going to be pretty much one of those WWE throwaway pay-per-views. I'm going to be really surprised if this pay-per-view turns out to be good. Now, they only got 5 matches on this pay-per-view. Obviously, the one main match on this pay-per-view is the 60-minute Iron Man match with John Cena versus Randy Orton, which I'll be really shocked if that match actually delivers. Now, let me get on to my predictions now. I'm not sure which match they'll do first. They'll either do the women's match or the IC versus U.S. title champion match, non-title. And first match I got written down is the Raw versus SmackDown Divas match. The Team Raw is Melina, Kelly, and Gail Kim versus Team SmackDown of Michelle McCool, Beth Phoenix, and Natalya. And it really shocks me that they put Natalya on the SmackDown team, but I really do enjoy that WWE is actually going to put her on the SmackDown team. But like I said, this match is something they probably should have saved for next month's pay-per-view. But it does, I guess, some of these matches, the interpromotional matches, make sense, at least for the name. That's the one thing, even though I disagree with them doing them, at least it makes sense with the name, because it's, you know, all for bragging rights. That's pretty much what this pay-per-view is all for. Then you got 2 championship matches, which I guess kind of, even though it's not interpromotional matches, it's kind of for bragging rights in some sense, but it's not for, you know, brand supremacy. And this 6-woman Divas tag probably will be pretty good, because you got Melina on Raw, and you got Gail Kim on Raw, and Beth Phoenix and Natalya on SmackDown. Really the only 2. Kelly's not terrible. She's decent. And Michelle McCool I don't like that much, but like Kelly, she's at least, you know, decent in the ring. So this might be a good women's match, just as long as it gets at least a decent amount of time. Probably at best they'll probably give it 10 minutes, but I think if they gave it close to 15 minutes, this probably would be a very good women's match. And I see Team SmackDown winning this. This would be the one SmackDown team that I do see winning on here, because they're not going to have Raw have a complete sweep and win all 3 of the Raw versus SmackDown matches, and they'll kind of give this match to SmackDown and kind of say, oh, well, you didn't lose all 3 of your matches, you at least won 1 of them. Then your next matchup would be a non-title U.S. champion versus IC champion John Morrison versus The Miz. These are 2 former tag team partners, and this is the one match on this pay-per-view that I'm probably interested in the most in seeing. Hopefully it is pretty good. They are former tag team partners, so normally with former tag team partners going against each other, most of the time they have good chemistry. Matt and Jeff Hardy is probably like one of the very few that doesn't have good chemistry when they go against each other. Morrison's a great in-ring worker. Miz, he's decent in the ring. He has a good character, so that kind of helps him. And with this match, I see it having some type of screw job finish, because I don't see either one of these going over cleanly in this match. I'd be kind of shocked if they have one of them go over cleanly. And I see it, since you don't got Dolph Ziggler on the SmackDown team anymore, I see him maybe interfering in this match, costing John Morrison the match, and having The Miz win that way, and then The Miz can brag on Monday Night Raw that he was the better out of him and John Morrison, but John Morrison doesn't really get hurt too much since he didn't lose the match cleanly. So that's the way I see that match going. But it probably will be a good match. The next matchup will be for the World Heavyweight Championship. Undertaker versus CM Punk versus Batista versus Rey Mysterio. And this is going to be an interesting match. Not sure how this is going to work out, because it's kind of interesting how these 4 are going to put a match on with each other, because we know Undertaker and Batista, they work very good with each other. CM Punk and Undertaker, they've worked good with each other as well, just not to the level that a lot of us have been expecting as far as, you know, that classic, you know, epic match between them 2, but they have had pretty good chemistry in the ring with each other. I'm pretty sure that Rey Mysterio and CM Punk, they'll have good chemistry with each other, but it's going to be interesting how CM Punk and Batista, they don't really have good chemistry. Batista and Ray, I don't see them having good chemistry. So it's gonna be one of those matches that if it's booked correctly and it's booked in a way where you got Undertaker and Batista going against each other a good portion, you have a lot of good stuff with Rey Mysterio and CM Punk, could turn out to be a good match, but it is one of those matches that if it's booked incorrectly, it could be a complete clusterfuck. But hopefully it delivers a good match, because I really want to see CM Punk and Rey Mysterio within this match, and Undertaker, probably, with this match being a fatal 4-way match or a 4-way match. Obviously, they got that due to Undertaker kind of having nagging knee problems, and he kind of is battling injury still, so it makes sense, having a multi-man match. He won't have to be involved in every single portion of the match. And I see Batista winning this match just because I don't see them giving the title to Rey Mysterio. I don't see CM Punk getting the title back quite yet. And Undertaker is kind of, battling these injuries and stuff, and I don't think WWE want to, keep having him be the champion and kind of worrying that maybe he'll get injured and you'll have to, have him lose the title on SmackDown or do something like that. So I see Batista winning this match, especially since he's been doing a lot of stuff on SmackDown since he's got on there, and it does look like they're going to give him a push for the world title. So I do see him becoming the new world heavyweight champion within this match. Then the next matchup will be the on the card that I got written here from some website, maybe WWE.com. I think the 7-on-7 match might be the main event of the evening. So it looks like John Cena and Randy Orton is going to be before the main event, the 1 hour, 60-minute Iron Man match. No disqualification, no countouts. And the rules of this match as far as who loses, if John Cena loses this match, he must leave Monday Night Raw. And if Randy Orton loses this match, he doesn't get a rematch with John Cena as champion. Now, obviously, this thing right here is, I'm pretty sure that John Cena is going to win this match just because John Cena is supposed to be your #1 guy. And you got Batista on SmackDown, so you got that big guy on SmackDown with that big name value. And I can't really see Batista and John Cena being on the same show, and that would be building up SmackDown a little too much for WWE, and I don't think they would do that. So see where John Cena winning this match just because he's supposed to be your #1 guy. Why would you put your #1 guy on, the second-rate show, the SmackDown show? At least in WWE's eyes, it's the second-rate show, even though most of us enjoy SmackDown more than Monday Night Raw. WWE at least views Raw as the flagship show, so you would want to have your top guy on there, and maybe kind of like John Morrison and kind of like maybe the John Morrison and Miz match. Maybe he'll have some interference within this match. Obviously, since it's no disqualification, you're going to have probably Legacy get involved. I could kind of see if they want to do something with this. I don't know who they'll have Cena take on next month. That's the one thing that's kind of wondering what they'll do, because if they still have DX going, you can't have him against Shawn or Triple H, but wouldn't be surprised to see one of them take on each other, since Triple H did defeat John Cena this past Monday night on Monday Night Raw, so they kind of left that open that, if John Cena becomes champion on here, Triple H kind of technically is somewhat the #1 contender, so you could have them two against each other, which them two have very good chemistry, and they deliver very good matches. And this John Cena and Randy Orton feud, they've had good matches in the past, just this feud they've been having this year hasn't been really producing the matches that I think a lot of people have been expecting, especially the SummerSlam match. Very questionable and idiotic booking on that pay-per-view. Breaking Point, I did enjoy that match. Might have been a little too short and might have been a little too quick as far as the way the match ended, but it was still, a solid match. The Hell in a Cell match, very disappointing. Hopefully this match, maybe they can do something to maybe they can pull something out of their asses and make this match good, because this pay-per-view is really going to be, as far as the way this pay-per-view is going to be overall rated by a lot of people, is going to be depending on this match. If this match fails, this pay-per-view is going to be terrible. If this match actually delivers, this could possibly be a decent pay-per-view from WWE. It's really going to be based on this match, and John Cena, I do see winning this, and then possibly building up Randy Orton versus Ted DiBiase. Because the one thing is, if Randy Orton wins this match, it would be too quick to have Ted DiBiase versus Randy Orton for the title. And that would be the only thing I think they would do with Randy Orton. Obviously, they wouldn't do another John Cena and Randy Orton match at Survivor Series. At least I hope they don't. I hope this is the last time they wrestle each other. So I see John Cena winning this match. Maybe they'll deliver something, but I highly doubt it, just because I think this was a 30-minute match, 30-minute Iron Man match. It will actually deliver. hour is kind of questionable, especially with Randy Orton. It's probably going to be Randy headlock Orton the whole entire match. Then the main event is going to be the 7-on-7 Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Now, they switched up Team SmackDown a lot. I'm pretty sure most people already know that by now. They pretty much changed everyone on that team other than Chris Jericho and Kane. Team Raw is the same. It has DX being the co-captains with Big Show, Cody Rhodes, Jack Swagger, Kofi Kingston, and Mark Henry versus Team SmackDown of Chris Jericho and Kane. They're still on there with Chris Jericho being the captain. They replaced Crime Time with the Hart Dynasty of David Hart Smith and Tyson Kidd, which I actually prefer that over Crime Time. Even though Crime Time's the more over team, I think the Hart Dynasty would do better in this type of match than Crime Time would do. And other things they did in this match, which this is one thing they should have, had these two names penciled in already. They should have had Matt Hardy and R-Truth already on the team. I don't understand why they were even thinking about putting Eric Escobar and Drew McIntyre in this match, because that really made your team on SmackDown look very weak, especially since of the pay-per-view. Very few people would be like, who the hell are these two people? So it was really stupid to have Eric Escobar go over Matt Hardy on SmackDown, have him qualify, then R-Truth lose to Drew McIntyre, then they're in this match somehow, so it doesn't really make any sense at all, them getting back on the team, and the other two did qualify cleanly for the spot. Then the other person is Finlay. Dolph Ziggler's no longer on the team, so I guess Finlay took his spot. I don't really understand that. I'm not really a fan of Dolph Ziggler, but Dolph Ziggler has been doing a lot more on SmackDown than what Finlay has been doing. Finlay's just like one of those things they just probably threw on here for some reason, but like I said, they'll probably have Dolph Ziggler play some type of role in the Miz versus John Morrison match to build up a John Morrison versus Dolph Ziggler match yet again, because I don't see them having Morrison and Rey Mysterio quite yet. That'd be a feud that I really would like to see, but I see them kind of going back to Dolph Ziggler and John Morrison. And obviously Team Raw is going to go over in this match. I think that's a no-brainer, but at least the Team SmackDown isn't as weak as what it once was. It still, compared to Raw, is a weak team, but it isn't as weak as it once was. It actually kind of looks a little even right now, so I see Team Raw winning this. So obviously, let me go through my quick predictions of who I thought was going to win every match. Team Raw is obviously going to go over the 7-on-7 match. John Cena, I see him winning the WWE title. I see Batista winning the World Heavyweight title. And I see The Miz going over John Morrison, maybe having some interference from Dolph Ziggler in the match. Then the SmackDown Divas will go over, and the Team Raw Divas versus Team SmackDown Divas. And that's it for my WWE Bragging Rights 2009 pay-per-view predictions. Peace.